Hey guys, Toby Mathis here, and today we're going to go over three major rule changes to the CTA's BOI filing or reporting requirement. So let me give you some background and a little bit of context to what's going on. So the Corporate Transparency Act, I've done numerous videos on it, was enacted on January 1st of 2021 as part of the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2020. It was set to take place and become effective in January of 2024. And the requirement applied to all newly created entities as well as existing domestic entities. I'm going to say domestic because it's going to become really important to distinguish. And then foreign entities registered to do business in the United States. And there was numerous challenges on the constitutionality of the CTA. Where it ultimately ended up is most of the court said it was constitutional. There was a few injunction, including at the end of the year last year, all sorts of nonsense because the Fifth Circuit had two cases, Texas Top Cop Shop and Smith, that had injunctions that stopped the reporting requirements under the CTA, under the beneficial ownership information being reported with FinCEN under the CTA. It's a lot to get out, right? And it paused it, and then the Supreme Court took up the case, Texas Top Cop Shop, and it's actually going to be argued here pretty quick, and probably by the end of the year, you'll get some sort of opinion. Why is that relevant? I'll go over this real quick. So here's the three big changes. Number one, and this is an interim rule that came out on the 21st of March. You're allowed to rely on it. So there's a public comment period of 60 days, but you're allowed to rely on this rule right now. Plus I'll go over some other things that you can rely on. But the interim rule says effective immediately, and this was filed into the Federal Register. Domestic companies are exempt from filing. So U.S. formed entities, including corporations, LLCs, are no longer required to report to their beneficial ownership information. Including this applies to updates or corrections. So if you had changed ownership and stuff, now you don't have this obligation to file. And by the way, the penalties were huge. It's over $500 a day for failure to comply. So that's a big one. So all domestic entities, if you're a U.S. entity, don't worry. You don't have to file as of right now. And I'll go over why I say as of right now. Number two, even if the entity is required to file, so it's a foreign company, the U.S. citizens that are owners are exempt from filing and do not have to report their information. So if there's a foreign entity registered to do business in the United States and it has U.S. citizens that are, or U.S. persons that are the owners, you do not have to file the BOI information with FinCEN. Number three, foreign companies that are registered with foreign non-U.S. beneficial owners, so basically foreign ownership, you do have to report. That's still a requirement under the CTA. You still have to file your beneficial ownership information within 30 days of either creating the company or within 30 days from the publication of this rule, which is on the 21st. So let me unpack this real quick because you got to understand how the interplay here. So there was a Corporate Transparency Act law that was passed by Congress, the legislative branch. In that law, they delegated and gave authority to the executive branch to pass rules and decide whether something is needs to whether the purpose of the law is benefited by a certain class of people reporting. And so basically you had, who was it? I want to say that it's not just the Treasury, but also I believe you had Homeland Security and some others saying, hey, we think that domestic entities are low priority. So the executive branch was able to say, hey, let's make these rules and exempt these. So there's a law, CTA, legislative branch. In order for that law to go away, either the legislative branch needs to get rid of it or the Supreme Court needs to say that law is unconstitutional. So we've had an executive take action underneath the existing law, underneath its rule capabilities, to pass these three things, to say, hey, domestic entities are exempt, U.S. citizens or U.S. persons are exempt. I think it is U.S. citizens are exempt. And three, foreign entities still have to file. So foreign companies must still report. Those are the three big changes under the executive branch. Now, who's in the White House right now, right? So that's about as long as this could last. Because what if you get a change of administration or a change of heart? Could they change these rules? Yes, they can. So the law is still on the books. It has not been changed. Now, could that be changed? Yes, there's actually, let me get the name right. It's the Repealing Big Brother Act that's still alive. It hasn't been voted on, I don't believe, but it's still rolling around out there to repeal these rules, the Corporate Transparency Act. If that passes, then of course it's CTA is done, right? If the legislative branch gets rid of it and it's no longer a law, it's no longer a law. Or what's behind door number two is the Supreme Court in Texas Top Cop Shop. If the Supreme Court comes down and says this is unconstitutional, then it's not enforceable law. So you have two of those choices. So we have three branches of government, right? So the executive's doing what it can do, but the legislative had already acted. So this law has been passed. You can't just ignore it. Until the Supreme Court says it's unconstitutional, or until the legislative goes back and repeals it, we're stuck with it. So the executive's doing what it can do. And the big policy, I think it was Executive Order 14192, unleashing prosperity through deregulation, right? So the big policy driver here was, hey, take this burden off of these small businesses. It was estimated the first year costs, labor costs, just for the initial reports, was over $21 billion. I know that our firm was spending a tremendous amount of resources getting our clients filed because the law was in effect for the all of 2024. And we had pauses in December of 2024 where you had injunctions. Then you had the Supreme Court basically nixing it. And then you had the Treasury saying, we're not going to enforce it. So the Treasury just does a press release basically and says, yeah, we're not going to enforce this thing. So everybody's in a pause. But the law was still on the books. So for the better part of the year, that law was on the books and effective. There was a case in Alabama where there was certain plaintiffs where they said it's not enforceable to you. There was a small group. And then you had the temporary injunctions that got turned over, by the way, in the Texas Top Cop Shop and the Smith matters. So you had these little pauses, but it was still in effect. So there was a ton of cost. And they're estimating $3 billion a year for new companies to keep doing compliance. And annually for all the existing companies for every year, another $2 billion. So probably about $5 billion a year. So the initial outlay, I think we already got hit by that, was $21 billion. Then there's $3 billion a year for new companies that get formed and $2 billion a year for everybody updating their lists. So there's a lot of money that's at play here that by just here, we're going to remove and make these three major changes. Domestic entities, no more. U.S. citizens, no more. Foreign filed entities with foreign ownership, yes. So it's going to reduce the cost. They said about $9 billion in savings. I don't think they said annual savings. I don't think that's accurate because when you add up the new clients or new companies and ongoing report maintenance, it was only $5.6 billion a year. So, this doesn't make much sense. So they're looking at it saying, hey, that first year requirement, there's a bunch of companies holding off. Maybe that's what it is. The reduction in administrative hours is about 91 million hours. So, so there you go. What is the status right now? We're in a 60-day period where the new rules undergo public comment. Could the Treasury come back out and say, psych, everybody has to file? Yes, they could, which is why we really need the legislative branch to act, or you need the Supreme Court to decide that it's non-constitutional. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. I've been saying this since the very beginning. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. The require, for small U.S. companies, they already have the information because the BOI requirement for banks is still in place. So if you have a bank account, you're already providing this information. If you're filing a tax return, they already know who you are. So I always kind of said they already have your information. It's not like they're getting this new secret database of new information. They just said basically it wasn't an easy access to get all that information. So we needed to have a special FinCEN area where we're gathering all this information. And that's just because, as you're probably seeing, the government systems are antiquated. They don't really talk to each other well. So they were doing, they put it on the American people and the businesses to carry that burden as opposed to just fixing it internally. But I always kind of looked at it and said, it doesn't really matter. They already have it. If you're a small business here in the United States, you're single owner LLC or a partnership, they already have your stuff. So that doesn't change. Could the Treasury change its mind? Yes. Could the Supreme Court come through and say this is constitutional? Maybe there's some things wrong with it. Yes. In which case, if a new administration comes in, they could turn this thing back on. So what's the solution? If you really want this thing to go away, you need to talk to your congressmen and women. You want to make sure that the law goes away. So if we can get this repealing Big Brother Act passed, then you don't have to worry about this coming back. Until that happens, we're still on a wait and see. So what do? You subscribe to this channel and you look for new videos that come out, because I always put them out within a few days of any of these actions. We let the dust settle. We take a look. We try to give people the best information so that they can make the best decision going forward. Guys, like and subscribe. Share this with anybody out there who has questions about the CTA and the BOA reporting requirements. This was passed on March 21st, 2025. So this is new information. I know there's a lot of videos out there on this. Unfortunately, there's just been a lot of wringing of hands and a lot of activity around this particular law that's just made it a mess. And hopefully Congress does the right thing and just repeals it. Until that point, you got to be diligent, because the penalties here can still be severe. And if we know one thing about the government, is that when they decide they want to put their thumb on you, they will. And we don't want to give them that chance. So, I was telling people last year, just file it, be done with it, never have to worry about it, because the penalties are so severe. You could be doing jail time, huge penalties, $500 plus, dollars a day. Let's not poke the bear. But if you are one of those people who hasn't filed and now you don't have to, just watch this channel and I'll let you know if you ever have to. Thanks, guys.